In an industry fueled by ambition, noise, and constant visibility, Catherine O'Hara made a choice so rare it looked like disappearance. When news broke in January 2026 of her passing, much of the public conversation centered on her triumphant, late-career resurgence in Schitt's Creek. Yet few paused to question the long silence that came before it. After becoming a household name through Beetlejuice and Home Alone, she stepped away from the spotlight at the very moment Hollywood expected her to claim it fully. To outsiders, it looked like retreat. In truth, it was resistance. O'Hara did not lose her place in the industry. She rejected the terms it offered. Rather than chasing endless roles and accolades, she quietly chose boundaries. Her absence was not accidental or forced. It was deliberate, thoughtful, and rooted in values that mattered more to her than fame ever could. Standing at the edge of everything, the early 1990s were a defining crossroads for Catherine O'Hara. Hollywood was booming, celebrity culture was accelerating, and the pressure on women to remain visible at all costs was relentless. After Home Alone became a global phenomenon, O'Hara was suddenly everywhere, recognized instantly and heavily pursued by studios eager to capitalize on her warmth and comedic precision. The unspoken rule was clear: say yes now, because the window will not stay open forever. Many of her contemporaries ran headlong into that glare, fearing irrelevance more than exhaustion. O'Hara, however, paused. She assessed not just the opportunities, but the cost. Success, she realized, demanded absence, constant travel, and emotional distance from home. At the exact moment she had the industry's full attention, she did something almost unthinkable. She declined the invitation to become omnipresent, choosing instead to redefine what success would mean on her own terms. An iron-clad rule no one expected. Shortly after marrying production designer Bo Welch in 1992 and welcoming their sons, Matthew and Luke, O'Hara established a non-negotiable rule that would shape the next 2 decades of her life. She would not accept roles that required extended time away from her family. No exceptions, no justifications. For agents and studio executives, this was infuriating. Big projects often demanded months on location, global press tours, and total availability. O'Hara's answer was consistently polite and firm. If she could not be home, she would not do the job. To the outside world, her career appeared to slow, even fade. Critics speculated about relevance, momentum, and missed chances. What they failed to see was intention. O'Hara was not stepping back because she lacked opportunity. She was stepping back because she understood exactly what she was protecting, and she refused to bargain with it. Creating without disappearing. Although she largely vanished from live-action blockbusters during those years, Catherine O'Hara never stopped working or creating. Instead, she shifted into voice acting, a medium that allowed her to remain artistically fulfilled while honoring her commitment to home. From recording booths rather than film sets, she brought life and emotion to animated characters, proving that presence did not require visibility. Voice work offered flexibility, creativity, and control over her schedule, something traditional film production could not. She could explore characters deeply during the day and still return home in time for dinner, homework, and bedtime routines. This quiet pivot was never announced as a statement, yet it spoke volumes. While others measured success by premieres and magazine covers, O'Hara measured hers by consistency and presence. She rejected the idea that artistry required sacrifice of family, choosing instead to redesign the system around her life. A marriage built away from the spotlight. Behind Catherine O'Hara's unwavering resolve stood a partnership that valued privacy as much as purpose. Her relationship with Bo Welch began not at glamorous parties, but on the eccentric set of Beetlejuice in 1988. Welch, a production designer known for building fantastical worlds, preferred staying behind the scenes, avoiding attention whenever possible. Their temperaments balanced each other naturally. O'Hara brought warmth and energy. Welch brought steadiness and restraint. Together, they formed a union that resisted Hollywood's tendency to turn marriages into performances. They never branded their relationship or leveraged it for visibility. Instead, they built a quiet sanctuary where work stayed at the studio door. Welch supported O'Hara's decision to turn down major roles without hesitation, fully aligned with her belief that being present mattered more than being seen. Their marriage endured not because of spectacle, but because of shared values and mutual respect, choosing motherhood over applause. During the years many labeled as her missing period, Catherine O'Hara was deeply engaged in the work she valued most. She was raising her sons with intention, ensuring they experienced stability rather than spectacle. She attended school events, family vacations, and everyday moments that rarely make headlines but shape lives profoundly. While peers relied on teams to manage households from afar, O'Hara insisted on being there herself. She wanted her children to know her as a mother first, not a celebrity. This choice protected them from growing up under constant public scrutiny and allowed them to develop identities untethered to her fame. In hindsight, that 20-year gap in her filmography reads less like absence and more like authorship. She was writing a different kind of legacy, one measured not in roles taken, but in moments kept, presence maintained, and trust built quietly over time. The call that brought her back. As her sons grew older and the house gradually quieted, Catherine O'Hara found herself open to returning, not out of longing for fame, but readiness. The invitation came not from a studio executive, but from Eugene Levy, a longtime collaborator who understood her completely. Their bond stretched back decades, built on trust, creative instinct, and mutual respect. Levy did not offer her a conventional role. Instead, he gave her freedom. With Schitt's Creek, O'Hara was invited to build Moira Rose from nothing, shaping her voice, mannerisms, and emotional logic without restriction. The result was electric. She returned not diminished, but sharpened. Years of lived experience poured into the performance, making it fearless and deeply human. Her comeback was not a reclaiming of lost relevance, but a revelation of preserved brilliance, released at exactly the right moment. A final chapter marked by peace. As the applause from Schitt's Creek faded and awards accumulated, Catherine O'Hara approached the final chapter of her life with uncommon peace. She had honored her priorities, protected what mattered, and returned to her craft on her own terms. When she passed away on January 30th, 2026, the scene that defined her legacy was not a red carpet or ceremony, but a quiet room filled with family. Her husband and sons were by her side, the living proof of choices made decades earlier. The question Hollywood had whispered for years was finally answered without words. Her career gap was not loss, it was investment. While others chased visibility, she chose connection. While fame demanded sacrifice, she set boundaries. In the end, she did not leave behind emptiness, but continuity, love, and a life fully lived beyond the frame. The measure of a life well chosen. Catherine O'Hara's story challenges how success is measured. It asks us to look beyond constant output and public presence and consider what is quietly sustained over time. She proved that walking away from opportunity is not failure when it is done with clarity and purpose. Her talent did not diminish in the shadows, it deepened. The years she spent away from the spotlight were not pauses, but chapters written in private, shaping the artist she would become again. Her legacy is not only the character she played, but the values she lived by. In choosing love over noise and presence over applause, she achieved something rare. She remained whole. The 20-year silence in her career stands not as a void, but as a testament to integrity. She did not miss her moment. She defined it, quietly and on her own terms.